Okay, so before I get into the topics, right? So this session is for Scrum Master. I hope every one of you are aware in the in the group that we are going to discuss few topics on this demo session, which would help you to understand who is a Scrum Master, right? And what are his roles and responsibilities, right? And what exactly a Scrum Master does in a project, okay? And what are the kind of certifications we have and which certification you can attempt after this training, okay, right. So before that, I just want to introduce myself, right. So I am Srikanth. I have experience in IT industry from 14 years. So I have been working as business analyst. I have been working as a scrum master and worked as product owner, right. So I have mixed experience in the IT industry into this, you know, product development life cycle or project development life cycle roles. Okay. So currently I'm working as a business analyst at a manager level. So yeah, I'm certified Scrum Master from Scrum Alliance and Safe Product Manager and Product Owner from Scaled Agile. Right? So these are the two certifications I hold, and yeah. So this is all about me. So I am from a non-technical background. So I am from a commerce background. I started career in 2007. Okay, so it has been a great time in the IT industry, right? So do you guys want to introduce yourself before we go and start? Okay. So how many of you are from you know uh, already from the IT side, IT side? Like when I say IT, it is from whether it is a development or whether it is from a testing point of view. How many of you are from already a testing? Vijay. Okay. Vijay, are
Yeah,
from
I'm also
testing
from
background
testing.
or development? You can just type it in the chat window whether you are a developer or a tester. Okay. So I'll take a look at it at sometime before we complete the session. Okay.
Yeah, hi Srikanth, and I'm from testing.
Testing partner, right? So I and also
Yeah,
assume that you guys have good experience, like you know you have at least an experience of 6 to 7 years in the role what you're playing, or the entire experience is more than 5 years, right? So because a Scrum Master role is not suitable for the people who have less experience, like below 5 years of experience or freshers, they're not suitable for the Scrum Master role, right? So I just wanted to clear that before I get into the session. Okay, right. So the object of this session is we are going to see who is a Scrum Master, right? We are going to see roles and responsibility of a Scrum Master and who all can become a Scrum Master, right? So what are the differences between Scrum Master, Business Analyst, Project Manager, or a Product Owner, right? So we'll also discuss about some certifications and job opportunities, and will AI impact the Scrum Master role, right? So we are going to look into all these topics, right? So I hope before you get into this role, or if before you wanted to attend this demo, you must have done some research, right, on the Scrum Master. So tell me, who is a Scrum Master, right? So a Scrum Master. Let me show you the picture, right? So if you look at this picture, okay, so can you identify who is a Scrum Master here? Right. So the person who is
what?
looking into this, binocular, he is a Scrum Master, because Scrum Master will act like as a leader to the Scrum team. Okay. So when I say Scrum team, we have developers. So you must be knowing, right? Testers, BA, right? Product owner, and Scrum Master. So together this is called a Scrum team. Okay, and Scrum Master will act as a leader for all these team members. Okay, so when I say leader, he is not like being an authority kind of you, but he is on top of us. Okay, and a business analyst I mentioned here, right? So Scrum Master is on top of all these roles, right? So basically, a Scrum Master will look into the team activities, like whether it is similar to a project manager role, but it is not a project manager. Okay, so project manager is will come in the waterfall methodology. In Scrum or Agile methodology, in Agile methodology, we'll see Scrum Master. Okay, so Scrum Master is basically a problem solver of the team. Okay, problem solver, and he will also track the project, right? Reports, right? He'll present the reports to the client. Okay, and Scrum Master will basically see that team is following the Scrum properly. Okay, and it is his responsibility, Scrum Master's responsibility, to see the team is following Scrum values and principles. Okay, so entire Agile methodology or entire Scrum methodology will run the show on the values and principles. Okay, so Scrum has 4 values and 12 principles. Okay, so entire Scrum will run on these 4 values and 12 principles. Okay, and it is a Scrum Master responsibility to see the team is following these values and principles. Okay, so basically a Scrum Master will act as a leader of the team. Okay, so they guide, they support a team as they're working on a project, ensuring that the following agiles and practices, right? So Scrum Master will also do the client management, right? So whenever there is a hurdle, or whenever there is an impediment among the team members regarding any situation, right? So if you are unable to deliver any particular sprint, okay, so Scrum Master is the one he or she will take it forward with the client, right? So he is responsible of managing the client, right? So that is what a Scrum Master do in a project. Okay, so basically a Scrum Master is also called as a people's servant. Okay, so Scrum Master is also called as people's servant, because it is not like because he's we are referring to him as a servant, right? So people cannot ask him go and get some water or go and get some coffee, right? That is not the thing. People's servant in the sense, he is Scrum Master should be available to the team at any point of time. Okay, so at any point of time, a Scrum Master should be available with the team to ensure that everything is going as planned, and everything is going smooth without any issues or any impediments. Okay, so it is what a people's servant means. Okay, so Scrum Master responsibility is to see sprint is completing in the planned timeline. Okay, sprint planning is happening properly, and the entire team is understanding the requirements, right? So this is what a Scrum Master responsibility at a high level. Okay, so I hope every one of you working in your organizations are following Scrum, right? So you do follow Scrum or waterfall in your organizations. uh, Vijay, I see you are both Uma and Vijay, both of you working as a QA. So in your organization, you have Scrum methodology, right? So you must be know. Do you have a Scrum Master role as well for your project or for your implementation?
We used to use agile methodology.
Right. So in Agile, you guys had any Scrum Master in your project,
Yeah.
right? So basically, Right. So if you have a Scrum Master for your project, so you must be understanding at a high level what a Scrum Master does, right? So what is your understanding? What else a Scrum Master will do apart from just what I've explained you? What do you think? Now you must have seen your Scrum Master working along with you, right?
Right. Yeah. The Scrum Master
So
again is responsible for all the project related
vo-
activities like
voice is
reports.
not clear, Vijay, or
Oh,
who else is talking?
is it fine now?
No, it is very low.
Oh,
Okay, no problem, right? So if you guys see any, any additional thing a Scrum Master does apart from the one which I have explained you, you can put it in the chat window. We can go through it, right? So that is what a Scrum Master does in the project, right? Now, who all can become a Scrum Master? Okay. So as I told you, developers, testers, business analysts, project managers, and team leaders, right? So all these are eligible to become a Scrum Master. Okay. So as I mentioned you before the session starts, right? Freshers are not eligible or not suitable for this role. Okay, because it is a kind of team management, people management, right? Client management, and those kind of managerial skills will come only with the experience, right? So freshers are not very much suitable for this Scrum Master role. Okay, so experience wise, if anyone is having experience more than 5 years, right? So they are suitable for this role. Okay, and irrespective of what their education background is, right? So non-technical can also become a Scrum Master. Okay, because Scrum Master doesn't work on any development activity, or Scrum Master does not work on any of the testing activity, right? So Scrum Master is least bothered about the technical skills. Okay, so Scrum Master should be good at people management, client management, and some of the other roles just what I mentioned, right? So a non-technical person individual can also become a Scrum Master, can also become a Scrum Master, right? So anyone who is good at people management or those kind of skills can become project Scrum Master. Okay, so yeah, so Scrum Master roles are open to individuals from diverse professional backgrounds who are enthusiastic about the agile principles and facilitate the successful projects, right? So whoever are interested in project management or IT industry they want to get in, then Scrum Master is the best role which you can opt for if you have a good experience in any of the industry where you are working. Okay, right. Any questions until now, or anything you want to know additionally until now?
Do we need to know any languages like SQL or yeah, Unix scripting?
Not required. See, as that's what I was telling, right? Scrum Master will not work on any kind of development activity. Okay, Scrum Master is there only to look after the team and clearing the team impediment. Okay, so any kind of
Okay,
technical knowledge is not required for a Scrum Master.
okay,
Okay, because whatever the estimations you are giving, okay, any of the feature or any of the user story, your technical lead will take care of validate whether that is a correct estimation or not, right? So there is no Scrum Master involvement in the technical aspect. Okay,
okay.
any other questions if anyone have? You can also put it in the chat window. I will try to answer. Right. So what are the Scrum Master responsibilities, right? So as I was told you, before we start with, while I start the session. So basically, Scrum Master will be the, you know, uh, among us, right? So Scrum Master will be also part of the team among us, but he or she will be on top of us, right? To take care of the things, right? So basically, problem solvers, right? Impediment, removing the impediments or removing the obstacles, right? So main responsibility of Scrum Master is to responsibility of the Scrum Master is to conduct Scrum events,
Events.
right? So all the events which what are the Scrum events, right? So daily stand up, okay, product backlog grooming, okay. Then we have what else we have? Daily stand up, product backlog, sprint planning, right? Sprint review and sprint retrospective. Okay. So all Scrum, it is a Scrum Master responsibility to conduct all these Scrum events, right, within the team. Okay. So this is the main responsibility of the Scrum Master. Right? He or she look into daily stand up, how the product backlog is looking like, right? How many stories we are still pending, what is the capacity, right? And capacity calculation, right? Velocity, team's velocity, right? So these are the very important information what a Scrum Master should know. How to calculate the team's capacity and what is the team's velocity, right? So whenever a client is asking what is the team's capacity or what is your team's velocity in handling the sprints, right? So there should be some calculation done by the Scrum Master. Okay, so all these things should be taken care by Scrum Master in any project, right? So I hope your Scrum Master must also be doing the capacity planning. So we also say it as a capacity planning. Okay. So what we'll get to know with this capacity planning? How many team members are there in that particular sprint, right? How many stories or how many user story points we can consider for the development, right? So we'll get to know these kind of information from the capacity planning and the team's velocity, right? And it is Scrum Master responsibility to maintain these information for any of the sprints, for the future sprints and for the current sprint as well. Okay, right. So these are the principles what I was saying, right? Commitment, courage, focus, openness, right? So it is a Scrum Master responsibility to maintain these principles among the team members. Okay. So what is a commitment? What is a courage, focus, and openness? We'll see in detail when we are into the training program, right? But entire Agile or entire Scrum is runs only on these four principles and uh, sorry, four values and the 12 principles, right? So these are the four values, right? Commitment. Scrum Master should ensure that entire team is committed to reach the sprint goal. Okay, and every one of the team members should be courage enough to express their ideas in the stand-up meeting or whatever the meeting is, right? So it is a Scrum Master's responsibility to see that all the four values are followed by the team members, right? Scrum team, right? And these are the rules of Scrum management, right? So Scrum Master should be responsible to see that entire sprint is following these rules, right? So every sprint is 4 weeks or less than duration, right? It is the basic principle before we start any sprint, right? So we cannot stop or we cannot take breaks in between the sprints, right? So all these things or all these rules should be say maintained by the Scrum Master before they start any of the sprint, right? Transparency, inspection, adaptation, right? So this is very much important to maintain in a Scrum. So what is transparency? we should be transparent to the among the team members and along with the team, along with the client, right? So sometimes what happens, when any defect comes or when anything happens, we were unable to uh, deliver any particular story, right? So we'll try to make up the situation with the client, right? So we would try to give some explanation, or we will hide the actual reason and we try to make up that particular situation, right? That should not happen in the Scrum, right? Because Scrum is mainly, you know the main feature of the Scrum is the transparency, right? So we have to maintain transparency in Scrum methodology. And if you are unable to complete any story, you have to be transparent with the client why it is not able to, why we are unable to complete that story. Okay, so all these things has to taken care by the Scrum Master. Okay, and yeah, so these are the Scrum events what I was talking about: sprint planning, daily Scrum, Scrum sprint review, and backlog refinement. Right. See, conducting these meetings is the responsibility of a Scrum Master, but leading the meeting is different, right? So sprint planning meeting, sprint backlog grooming meeting. Who will lead the session, right? You must have having grooming sessions in your team, right? So who will lead the session? Uma or Vijay or anyone else can answer. So do product backlog grooming happens in your organization, in your project?
Yeah. Yes, Srikanth.
Who will lead that
Okay.
session?
The product owner.
Sorry.
Product owner.
Correct. Product owner or the business analyst, right? So these are the two people who
Right.
will lead this session. Same with sprint review, right? So most of the times BA will lead the session. Okay. So Scrum Master's responsibility is to look that these meetings are happening accordingly, according to the plan. Okay, and leading of these sessions would differ person to project to project. Okay, right. It is not like Scrum Master will lead this session, right? So Scrum Master cannot do sprint review. Okay, because sprint review is basically what we do in sprint review. We demo what happens in that particular sprint, right? So business analyst should know what happened. Like Scrum Master doesn't know any of the functionality, right? So Scrum Master cannot deal with sprint review. It is a BA who should present the sprint review, right? Right. So these are the elements of Scrum management, right? Empirical process, collaboration, iterative development, right? Value based development. So what is this value based development? Does anyone have idea on what is this value based development? Value based development or require. So this is basically a requirement prioritization technique. Okay. So what is a value based? So let us take an example of this e-commerce. Okay. So in e-commerce, let us assume we have these features like customer registration, okay, vendor registration, okay, then we have order management, okay, then we have uh, payment gateway integration. Okay, so let us assume we have these four features in the e-commerce section, in the e-commerce project. Okay, so in the first sprint, if you deliver the order management, okay, so in the first sprint, this is delivered. Okay, so this will add any value to the client. If you deliver order management first, will that add any value to the client business? Let us assume you have delivered this customer registration first in the first sprint. So this will add any value to the client? Yes, right? Before customer registration, If you deliver the order management, what client will do with that application or what client will do with that feature, right? So if you deliver customer registration in the first sprint, then this will add some value to the client. Client can onboard some customers, right? So that is a value based development, right? So whatever the development we take place, that should give some value to the client or value to the client business. Okay, so that is what a value based development, and it is Scrum Master responsibility to see the right prioritization or right development happening, right? So these are the sprint activities, and right, sprint retrospective and daily stand up, what we have discussed just now, right? So what is the benefit of Scrum management, right? So faster time to market, because when you compare to the waterfall methodology, what a waterfall methodology does, in waterfall methodology, until development is completed, we cannot show any project or we cannot show any working product to the client, right? But whereas in Scrum, we can show the working product within a short period of time. Okay, like uh, you know 2 weeks a sprint or 3 weeks a sprint. Within 2 weeks we can show a working product to the client, right? Faster time to market and enhanced flexibility and adaptability, right? So when it compared to waterfall methodology, if any change request has come into picture while you are in Scrum, okay, so Scrum is very flexible, right? So Scrum is very flexible to handle those change in requirements, right? We can put it in the backlog, we can prioritize it, and we can start working on it when it compared to waterfall, right? And waterfall, we have a defined timeline. Okay, so if we say development has to completed by July, assume, right? By hook or crook, we have to complete the development. But whereas in Scrum, as I mentioned, depends on the team's capacity, depends on the team's capacity, right? So, it is very much flexible, Scrum. Okay. So, any questions until now or any clarifications you wanted to take? Right? So since I hope you guys are already working in Scrum teams, you must be knowing what a Scrum Master does exactly, right? So I'm assuming that, right? Then, yeah. So we'll come to the training schedule, right? So basically, this would be a weekend schedule. Only Saturday and Sunday I'm going to take this Scrum Master class. Okay. So I'll come to another topic in some time, right? So this is a weekend batch, which I'm going to start from October 2nd, which is the coming Sunday. Okay, and timings would be 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. IST, right? 2 hours. When I say 2 hours, it is not exactly 2 hours. It can be 1 hour 45 minutes, or it can be 2 hours, right? Based on the questionnaire sessions what we have at the end of the each session, or based on the explanation, right? So sometimes it may extend, or sometimes it may, if I complete that particular topic, I may start in the in between before the 2 hours, right? So duration would be 3 to 4 weekends. Okay, so yeah, so these are the batch and date and the duration of the course, right? So our entire program will be running on the real-time scenarios. Okay, so it is not like I will explain you only the theoretical part, right? So we are going to run the training program in the real-time scenarios where everyone's active participation is mandatorily required. Okay, we'll simulate them such scenarios, we'll play a role, we do the role plays, right? So we'll take daily stand-up meeting and we'll conduct in live, right? So how a Scrum Master should act in the daily stand-up meeting, right? How a Scrum Master should be performing his duties while backlog grooming, right? So everything we are going to see in a real-time basis, right? So we'll create a Jira board. We'll give you hands-on experience on Jira as well. So we'll create a Jira board, like we'll simulate any development activity, like I'll upload the few requirements into the Jira board, right? So we'll do the prioritization, right? So we'll be doing all sort of activities what a real-time Scrum Master does in a project. Okay, so as a group we'll form some groups, like we'll form some teams, as a development team 1, development team 2, right? So we'll be doing some real-time activities throughout the training program. Okay, so this is what about the training program. And so yeah, I'll come to that, the course content. Okay, and the certifications. So as I told you, we have two types of certifications. Okay, basically we have three types of certifications. Okay, one is CSM, CSM, certified Scrum Master. Okay, so this certification is provided by Scrum Alliance. Okay, so this certificate is provided by Scrum Alliance, wherein there are few institutions affiliated with Scrum Alliance. Okay, only these people can train you for the Scrum Alliance certificate. Okay, so there are few institutions like Eisenbridge. We have many institutions in Hyderabad which are affiliated to Scrum Alliance. Only these people will train you to write the certified Scrum Master certification. Okay, so this certification is valid only for 2 years. Okay, after that you need to pay some amount, and again you have to renew the certificate. Okay, so this is one of the certificate. And second certificate is PSM. Okay, professional Scrum Master. Okay, so this is provided by scrum.org. Okay, this is another board of Scrum Masters who will provide the certification. Okay, so it is not mandatory you need to take a training, right? Like how, like Scrum Master, you can get training at you can get training at any point of time, or you can take training anywhere wherever you wish. Someone who is teaching Scrum, you can take training from them, or you can take from me as I'm conducting batches, right? You can take part of any training program and attempt the Scrum certification. Okay, so this certification is a PSM 1, and this is valid for lifetime. Okay, so another certification what we have is Safe Scrum Master. Okay, so this is not required for entry level. Okay, so this is mainly used at an enterprise level. Okay, and this is costly also. Okay, so Safe Scrum Master is not required, because currently we are working on a smaller team, right? So at an organizational level, right, this is a Safe Agile. Safe Agile is something different from the agile, routine Agile. Okay, so Safe Agile is being used in big organizations, right? So most of the companies are not preferring Agile Scrum Master, so you can rule out this one. Okay, so you have two options, Certified Scrum Master or PSM. You can go for either of the one. But if you want to write Scrum Master, as I told, so my training will not be useful for you, and it will not allow you to write the Scrum Master certification. Okay, so if you want to write professional Scrum Master, then you can attend my training and you can attempt the Scrum Master certification at the end of the training program. Okay, so this is an open book exam. uh, this is a open book exam. Right, what is an open book exam, right? uh, you can write it at your own space, right? You can write it at your home or wherever you wanted to. So you can refer to the books and you can write the exam. That is called the open book exam. Okay, and I think this will cost you around uh, again that is based on the institution, at approximately it should cost you around 25K. Okay, and this should cost you around, including my fees and certification cost, $150 is the certification fee. Let me write 150 to, right. So this will cost you around my let yeah training fee Okay, so training fee is 10,000. Okay, and certification is $1. Okay, which would come around in total in between 22,000, 22 to 23, because dollar rate varies, right? So this is the total expenses what you get for a Scrum Master certification. Okay, and again this is valid only for 2 years. This is for lifetime. Okay, so this is about the Scrum Master training program and Scrum Master certification. Right? Any questions on the certifications or any questions on the training program? See, so Scrum Master roles. See, let us check in live itself, right? Scrum Master jobs in Hyderabad. Okay, so you have almost a lot of jobs openings, right? So again, it depends upon the experience. Okay, but this is showing only for Naukri, but you might have openings in LinkedIn and other profiles as well, right? So in total we have these many results, right? So Scrum Master role is very you know uh, hotcake kind of thing. Okay, so if you have certification and if you have knowledge on the Scrum, right, you can well manage with the team, right? So you can easily get into the Scrum Master role, and growth opportunities also very more, right? So growth opportunities, like once you step into the team as a Scrum Master, okay, so you can grow as a project manager, right? So hierarchy is different from organization to organization, right? So we have Scrum Master, we have service delivery lead, right? Project program manager, right? And you can get into the product team, right? So once you get into the product team, then you have a lot of options. Okay, so you can go as a you know director, up to director level, right? So you can expect your level as a up to director level. Okay, and the job opportunities also more, because any project you take, okay, any project who is following a Scrum, there should be a Scrum Master definitely. Okay, so you must be seeing in your organizations also, right? So each project will have a Scrum Master. Okay, so one Scrum Master will be working only on for one project. Likewise business analyst, right? So business analyst can work on multiple projects, but Scrum Master will only work on one project, right? So if organization have 10 projects, then we'll have a 10 Scrum Masters. Okay, so that is where the opportunities are in the Scrum Master. And pay scale, again it depends upon your current package. Okay, and it depends on the organization, right? See, I do not want to give you some number, some fancy number, right? And I do not want to commit on that, right? So pay package is depends upon the organization. Okay, but I can watch, you will get a good handsome income or a good handsome salary when compared to the other roles. Okay, so assume if you have a good experience of 6 to 8 years, right? Let us assume 8 years, then you can easily can get up to in between 18 to 20 lakhs per annum as a Scrum Master. Okay, so you pay scale would be good for Scrum Masters too. Okay, so did I answer your question, Venkat?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so how many hours or what will be the end of the training program? See, I cannot tell you the defined end date, because sometimes what happens, I'll say 16 hours of course. Okay, the duration is 16 hours. But sometimes what happens during our discussions, because we'll do all the real time activities, right? So in the real-time activities, I cannot, you know, we cannot complete that activity maybe in the stipulated time. That will get extended. Okay, so approximately, as I mentioned, it would take around 3 to 4 weekends. Okay, so that would be by the end of this month. Okay, so if I'm starting on 7th, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, by the end of October we should be able to complete the program, and first week of November you can attempt for the certification. Okay, and if you want to change your jobs, so after certification you can revise the topics and everything in the month of December. Then from January we will have a good opening. Okay, because all the projects will be getting started in between February and April. Okay, so by the time projects start, Scrum Masters, business analysts, these people should be get hired. So you'll get good openings in the January or February, right? So by that time you will be ready with your knowledge transition, and you'll also ready with your certification. Okay, so that is what it is. So did I answer your question, Uma?
Yeah, thank you, sir.
No problem. Right. Right. So since our batch is going to start on next Sunday, right? If any one of you want to enroll for this program in 1 or 2 days, I can give you a concession on the fee. Okay. So like, early bird registration or early registration, I can give you some concession. Okay. And this training program would be limited to 10 or 12 participants, because, I should concentrate on, each and every individual, right? So if I accept more participation, then I may not be spending time individually with you, right? So this would be a limited uh, batch, so you can take a call based on your requirement. Okay, any other questions? Okay, so with this training program you'll also be getting some dumps, like, which it can help you in the certification or clearing an interview, right? So I'll be providing you some dumps as well with this certification, I mean with this course program. Okay, any questions or anything you want to answer me? Right.
Srikanth, what is the safe agile? Is a different one.
Sorry.
Safe agile
Mm.
is the same. Is the same as some
No,
CSCM or CSM,
no.
or this is another one.
Safe agile is different, and the concepts of safe agile is different, right?
Okay.
You should, to understand safe. To be frank, to understand safe methodology, we should be working as a Scrum Master in real time, at least for 1 or 2 years. Okay, because
Okay.
safe agile is at a broader level. Okay,
Okay.
so generally, what happens in Scrum in any project, right? So Scrum Master will conduct only one Scrum meetings, like, the events what I've told you here, right? So Scrum Master will be working only on with one meeting, only one with Scrum Master, right? So in safe, what happens? Let us say, we are working on we are working on a product, big product like insurance product, right? So each of the module, see in insurance product, what are the what we have? Insurance, right? Claims, right? Policy management, right? All these are the different products. Okay, again under insurance we have verticals, different verticals like life, annuities, right? Different verticals. So each of these verticals will have each of these Scrum Master. Okay, so in safe agile what happens? Scrum of scrums, right? What we say is a Scrum of scrums. Okay, so what does this mean is, you have a Scrum Master for life, you have a Scrum Master for annuity project, you have a Scrum Master for claims, you have Scrum Master for policy management, right? So they'll take individually, they'll take care of their own teams, but as a Scrum Master they'll conduct another Scrum meeting, Scrum of scrums. You're getting it, right? Scrum Master will
Yes.
conduct a
Got
Scrum meeting for life separately, annuity separately, but together they'll conduct one more Scrum. That is called Scrum of Scrum. Okay, so that
Got it,
is
got it.
some
Yeah.
complex methodologies in the SAFe, right? So if you get to working as a Scrum Master sometime, like 1 or 2 years, then it would be easy for SAFe. But nowadays, only large companies are looking for SAFe. Not all the companies. Right? So you can check in Naukris or any of the job portal. SAFe Scrum Master is not so preferred. Okay, as of now.
Okay, but our company is following the safe as well. That is the reason.
Yeah, the concepts would be same. I wouldn't say, the agile concepts are same in anywhere, but the handling of the concepts would be different when it compared to the normal Scrum and the safe Scrum.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Right. So if you guys have don't have any questions, then we are good to close the session. Okay. And if you have any questions you want to talk with me personally, you can talk to me. You are anyways in the group, and also this is my contact number. 756984288. You can call to me or you can send an email at this email ID. Okay. Okay.
Sure, sure.
Thank you guys. Thank you for your participation.
Bye.
Thanks.